Master Manual, a practical guide for DMs, GMs, and just wanna BMs, as well as other folks. This is a podcast where we answer questions about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, as well as other role-playing games. Hopefully, you know, I don't know. I kind of lost the farm there.
Is it mostly from the DM perspective?
I would suggest, I would assert that it's mostly from the DM's perspective.
Well, hopefully other folks can enjoy it too.
That used to be the case. At this point, I hope other folks can't understand what we're doing.
Well, I don't think anyone can really understand what we're doing.
I'm glad
we're operating on such a level that these plebeian cockroach people who walk around like dogs who forgot that they were supposed to be on four legs.
I call them day walkers.
I call them dog walkers.
I call them dog walkers.
Okay, dog walkers is definitely the monster this week. Okay. Oh, right. What did you say your name?
I don't know. No, we didn't, and I didn't, and you didn't. Okay. What's your name?
I'm Cohen Edenfield.
And I'm Spencer Crittenden.
And we like to talk about this stuff. I'm a game designer, games writer, and you are a professional DM.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about any of this. It's part of my work release program.
Okay.
It's community service.
Wait, is this like work release / witness protection?
Yeah.
It's like they're like, we're gonna get you a job in a different town. You can't.
No one knows who you are. You'll be podcasting.
Oh God, I feel like every job I've ever gotten has been with people who don't know who I am. I've never gotten a job and then there being somebody there who already knows me.
I'd say it's fairly standard. I mean, maybe not 100%, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway,
you been doing anything nerd related?
Oh, I've been playing the hell out of that Spider-Man 4.
Shit.
Spider-Man for the PS4. He whips around and he goes on such adventures and antics.
He's shooting a friggin' web.
There's so many different kinds of webs to shoot and many different targets for you to shoot them at. This is going to be so dated by the time this airs, because even though they spent 5 to 7 years making that game and it's like the most successful of all time, 4 weeks from now it'll be like, you're still playing that?
That's video games. And we got what, a 5-week buffer, I believe.
4?
I think it's 5.
Oh gosh.
I think we think that it's 4, but I think in fact it is 5.
Maybe 5. Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
Oh yeah.
But well, not to date the podcast or anything, but recording on
the
25th.
You want to date my podcast? You better ask my permission.
12 rules for dating my podcast.
That's roll a d12 to date my. This sucks.
What is it? The
25th?
It's the 25th of Tuesday. So, what date you're listening to this? That will be, you do some math.
Yeah,
that'll be the buffer.
Yeah.
Let us know what the buffer is.
Yeah, let us know. Oh, we should. Yeah. Okay. So, what are we doing?
I don't know. Well,
what have you been? What have you been nerding it up? You finished the Octopath.
Getting towards the end of Octopath Traveler. I just got a last boss. I was grinding up. The thing is, like, you are incentivized to level up all your characters, but at the same time, like, you kind of will favor a party or something.
Yeah, because you can only ever have the 4 in your party, right?
But in this last final fight, which is the only time in the entire game where this exists, you have to use both of the parties, not at the same time, but you have to use both of the parties. And so I spent like 2 or 3 hours just leveling up my secondary party about 10-12 levels to get them not even to the same level,
it's that
but
Final
just close.
Fantasy 7 thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, I know that for arbitrary reasons you've never been able to actually have more people in the party than you could use. But...
I know that you've been incentivized to learn how to play this one style of game for most of the game.
But fuck you.
Yeah, but here's and I get it. I mean, it's a cool thing, but it was a hassle. And now it's like I haven't fought the last boss again yet, but I tried him once. It got destroyed, but gonna try again. I don't know how many more attempts I have.
That was the thing about Pokemon is it's like everybody was like, oh, don't just train one Pokemon, gotta train a level rounded out team. But actually, if you just focused entirely on one Pokemon in Pokemon Blue and Red, and you to the exclusion of all others, the level difference meant that you could just burn everything down.
Yeah, you can usually use the rest of your party as a series of barriers, allowing you to stall and heal your 100-level Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, like, you didn't really need a
just
functional party.
Throw things out there to die while you heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so in terms of tie-ins, at this point, again, it'll be 5 weeks later, so it's almost trivial to mention this, but we just had D&D at Harmontown, and the gang decided that they wanted to give up adventuring and become potato farmers.
What, really?
Which, again, if you're listening, you may remember that about a month ago on an episode that we released, we answered a question.
Week ago.
Well, no, because it's a week ago for us, but it'll be because of this buffer. This is why we got to cut through it.
We got to cut through it. Yeah, I think
it's complicated just to talk about.
We're going to cut down the buffer.
Yeah,
and then we're going to play some one-off games and have those in a buffer in case like one of us breaks our leg or something, we can't record those.
And I do plan to break my leg. But so someone asked, what do I do if one of my players doesn't want to adventure and wants to just be a potato farmer? So, I guess we'll find out together.
Yeah.
Or I'll update my answer to quit in a tantrum. So you could try that, see how that goes. Let me know. I might want to test drive that before trying it myself. No, it's fun. I'm already brainstorming, because they don't have a lot of money. I think Steve has 2,000 silver pieces, but also they owe a lot of money.
Oh, you've got money now?
What, in the game?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I've been listening through at quite a pace, and they've never really had money.
Oh, see, in this campaign, they work for a church, and when they go to the church, they're told to go to someone who gives them a paycheck.
Oh, no, well, yeah, no wonder they started, farming. They found a thing that could make money faster. You made money the point.
Well, no, absolutely not. And I resent the accusation.
Okay.
But I've been already thinking about, what we want to do. I don't think they can afford to buy a house, but if they can, they owe, hundreds of thousands of GP in damages to other places, so I feel like they might have bad credit. And also, I don't know, I'm trying to think of getting potato seeds and potato starters to be an adventure. People are like, no man, I'm the potato farmer in town, you can't just have these potatoes if you want to help me out, and so I am trying to think of how to break quests and little
they could be forced bull rushed into joining the co-op.
Yeah.
And then it's we all set our prices at the same so that we could do it. And then it's oh, well, we don't want to be in the co-op. And it's well, then you're going to have to answer to the Lich Lord.
Well, also, yeah, it's just I mean, you can
the Lich Lord potato.
You can farm in our town, but you better, pay up, otherwise sometimes farms burn down.
Yeah.
It's just, but I'm just trying to, I'm brainstorming. I'm trying to think of directions in which we can go. I don't know. That's why I brought it up.
Something that kills the potatoes in the soil. And
yeah,
then they start researching, and they find out there's some kind of necromancer that's just leaching the nutrients from the soil to power some kind of, vegetative mass. And it could just be a shambling mound.
See, I don't. Oh, Shambling Mound's one of the characters, but
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob Schraub plays Shambling Mound.
Well, that's
but
on the nose.
I think if we did that, and not to shoot down your idea, but I think if we did that, they would say, well, we should probably build a farm somewhere else, I guess, and then they probably sell their farm and do that.
Huh,
but this is the journey I'm about to embark on.
Well,
so
good luck. I hope that it goes well.
Tales from Potato Quest is gonna be.
I guess
happening.
I'll find out how it went in a year when I get caught up.
Yeah, so when the next episode that we're recording comes out, it'll be 3 years from now, based on the buffer we've got going on. Yeah, but that's my D&D shit. Any DMing to speak of? D&D shit?
No, one of our characters is in Thailand.
A character?
Yeah, one of our players. Is in Thailand, and it's he's pretty focused on that right now. But it's okay because things have been busy for everybody. That's mostly what's been going on with me.
And
shall we?
That's before the screens. I'm just gonna try and come up with segment titles to just anything we do.
Yeah,
and that was Cohen puts things down.
What, me?
Cohen just set down a dice.
It's true, I did. I pick it up and then I put it back down, and it makes a tiny little sound.
And that was Cohen's narrative moment.
This is Cohen obstinately continuing to drop the dice.
And this is Cohen's FX Corner. I don't know. I'm getting very sick of this bit that I was delighted with 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Do you have any
welcome
questions?
To improv, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's good, and we're finding out that it requires training.
Yeah.
I hate myself, but let's answer questions.
You know what? Let's just put all this down. You and me right now. We go down to Silver Lake, I assume, find a UCB, and we put some fucking money into this.
Yeah, I think it's time. I don't know. I think one of the great and terrible things about this is we can crack terrible jokes until we get so embarrassed that we got to do D&D stuff. And then we do D&D stuff until we get so embarrassed it's like we should try more of this comedy.
Yeah,
we just ping pong back and forth until we hate ourselves enough to leave.
It's like that part in the Odyssey when they have to sail between a whirlpool and a hydra. It's like both are bad.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's play the nameless segment.
That's a good question, though. Which would you rather sail to, a Scylla or a Charybdis? You know? Yeah.
Shit. I mean, both are bad.
Yeah, ask that at your next corporate function or mixer. But no, let's start. Oh, I thought we were going to start with a question, but I forgot that we start with Helga Cruciform, huh?
Yeah, that's how we start.
So I made a song.
Respect the form.
Yeah,
Wait,
the Cruciform.
A form? Sorry, a song? That's
what
I meant to say.
Oh boy, I'm gonna cut that out.
All right,
I'm not gonna, but I will.
I wish you would.
I'll probably cut out talking about this, so it's just a burp
now
into
it's a
this
bit.
next thing.
Now it's a bit.
But that's what I'm cutting out. Anyway,
I'm naming this song Spencer's Burp and the subsequent conversation about it.
And that was Spencer's Burp. That's a segment where we burp. And I made this song for Helga Cruciform, so let's see how it comes up on the mic, huh? And I'm dancing because I'm just so enamored with my own terrible music. I just really like doing it. It's a lot of fun. All right. You want to kick it off?
Oh, this is for the... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dreadmouse. That's
Phil
the first one.
Brook.
Phil Brook?
The Wise.
I
think I've done that one before. Whatever.
Magithog.
Whoa. Stornflix, the Night Watcher.
He watches the night. No
on
night.
Stornflix.
Stornflix and chill.
Yeah.
Blight Dancer.
Whoa.
He dances the trees down.
Mm-hmm. Loose Binfold.
Loose Binfold?
I think I was going to say like Loose Benny, but Loose Binfold. How about?
That sounds good. That sounds like something that an old-timey person would tell you.
To me,
like, you got a loose binfold there, Charlie.
Right. Loose binfold to me is like, that's like a person, like a street person who's like held in high esteem. It's like, oh, you got to talk to Loose Binford. He's like the fucking king around these streets.
It's kind of like a
Binfold. Sorry.
Shit, I can't remember the name of the guy from Oliver Twist.
Oh, yeah.
Fanigan?
No, Fagin.
Fagin.
Yeah. What a weird name, huh?
Yeah,
Fagin.
Fanigan. It sounds like a family-friendly eatery with overpriced potato skins.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, overprice.
Oh man,
he's like a merchant. He doesn't have a great brand.
Cheadley Wheaps.
Rorona Dead Mouse.
Yeah. Halliburton Stornflint. That was word sounds.
Tenshin Miyotomo.
I almost just said Bilford again. I guess it was Billfold. So Flensmite the Onced.
What happened to him?
He got onced. Have you ever been onced?
No.
You never want to be onced.
No.
Especially if you're someone of Flensmite's stature.
I mean, how many times did it happen?
I mean, getting thriced is bad enough, but onced, forget about it. Just,
you know they say once me once. Shame on once.
And he was onced 9 times. That's why he was the once. You don't just get the name onced by one oncing, you know? Oncing, rather.
Well, once in time saves nonce.
And oncing is like way, way worse than onceling.
Okay, finally, the onceler.
Nope. That's just a bullshit. That's just a bullshit rip off of my fucking username. You can't fucking. What you like it if I was like, oh, skull jobbable? This is fucking. Dr. Seuss doesn't exist.
There's a thing, right?
No,
it was very
Dr.
popular.
Seuss.
Is that where the Sixthler came
He's
from?
Theodore Geisel.
Did I crack this open?
No. I mean, I'm sure it had something to do with it. The origin of the Sixthler was we played a game where character creation was you combine two separate entities that were on a spinning wheel, and so I got a burglar and a bagel, and so combining those together, it was the bagler. And then I was like, well, the bagler is fucking dumb as shit, and I don't even like bagels. So it's like, well, what if I change bagel to the six? And they're like, well, okay, how about Sixthler? And then my friend, he chose the Master Chief and a colander. And so he was the colander.
He could have been Master Colander.
Yeah, but he was just the colander. And yeah, that didn't stick, but the Sixthler stuck. And when that name happened, I was like, this is like a lifestyle internet handle, like I'm set. Like before that I had struggled, but I was like, I'm not going to need to add any numbers to the end of this. This is set.
That's how it felt with Skull Mandible.
Right.
Mine was originally Skullman, which is because I was joining a video game forum and I was like, gotta have me a video game style handle, and then when I tried to sign up for things, Skullman was taken, so I just added Dibble. Okay, so finally,
sorry, no, I wasn't trying to.
Mercy Mandible. Yeah.
60 lengths.
Okay, I think that'll do it.
All right, yeah.
That's a good one. That was a sick beat.
I don't know. I'm learning how to use this thing. They're really fun. You guys got to check out these pocket operators. They run about $50 to $100, but if you just get one and just fiddle around with it a bunch, it's just so fun. It's so much fun than like you get a fucking fidget cube or something. I don't know. It's way cooler than a fidget cube. It's so fun. I'm just having a blast. I love it.
Spencer makes all the music for the show, just so you know. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it last episode. But yeah,
I'm going to mention it every episode.
But it's fun. It's not because I don't think it's good. Don't tell me what you think of the quality, because I'm not doing it because the quality.
Everybody tells Spencer that you think the music is so good.
I don't do it because I think it's good.
You think he's a great DM.
I do it because it's fun.
And you think he's a great podcaster.
Nope.
Because Spencer knows these things about himself, and he needs to be reminded.
Because again, as the episode that just came out today that you'll remember from 5 weeks ago, anytime anyone gives me praise, I assume it's lies and slander and tricks. So that'll be good. But that was Helga Crusoe.
That was a good one.
And sorry if you sent us in any names we didn't get to anybody.
No,
do you want to go through some of those?
We have to, or people will stop doing it.
That would be funny, huh?
Yeah.
We're like, give us your names, and they're like, no. What do you?
Okay, Brandon gives us Bendy Greenbranch.
That sounded like one of my pitches.
Steadfast Zalamar, which is a good one.
I like that guy.
Hikaisia Finch.
Yeah.
Do you know Steadfast Zalamar?
Just from the internet.
Gornish Clayman from Wobbles. Frumple Brongus from D&D Shitposts. Octa Tercield from Punchio Buns. Hal Matthews gives us Rattlewin Reinhorn. Very good.
I like that one.
Yeah, that is good. Stickio Summerflux, also from Hal Matthews. That sounds like one of ours. Conway Welsh from Nagram.
Damn.
Oh, Morgavani. And finally, Onyx Slab Cruncher from Jacob on Trades. There are more,
good.
And they're all very good. And if I didn't read it, it's because I've forgotten to do it. So,
and you could tweet them at us at Master Manual Pod. If you use the hashtag Helga Cruciform, then it'll be easier to see everyone's, and you can see other people's, and other people can see yours, and it'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
Anyway, you wanna check out one of them questions?
Yeah. Let's establish our bona fides.
Yeah, we do this thing where sometimes a lot of stuff is on your phone, and I forgot to look up anything on the phone. So
that's why I'm the one who reads the questions.
Right.
All right. Hi, I've had difficulty this comes from Paul. Hi, I've had difficulty in the past getting recurring NPCs to stick. Do you have any suggestions for how to build a character that really makes a lasting impression on the players? Cheers, Paul C. Also, there was some praise from the show for the show, which I assume you don't want to hear because of your conditions.
Yeah, I actually deleted it.
Oh, okay.
So
how do you?
I deleted the whole email.
Yeah, no, it's gone. Sorry,
No, we're
Paul.
not answering it.
No, come on. He did. You wrote us a very nice email. He said cheers, which is the only true way to sign off an email.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts? I have some thoughts. But well, first of all, it's just kind of luck. A lot of times DMing, you'll find you spend a lot of time trying to do a cool thing, and then the people are like, "Hey, is that a weird bag floating in the wind?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I guess it is, huh?" And that's just frustrating. It's a semi-unique frustration. I'm sure creative in general is kind of like this when you go like, "Isn't the line work great?" And they're like, "I love how blue it is," and you're like, "But the line work." So it's like that's gonna happen. But in D&D, it feels very unique in that you spend all this time doing a thing, and then they absolutely don't engage with it. So.
Yeah.
To one extent, just that it's a terrible thing that's part of the course. So
yeah. So basically, some of what you're saying, I would say, is that you can spend a lot of time trying to sell them an NPC,
right,
but like they can feel it, and
sure,
they like there's almost like a there's a certain joy that I think players have, and I've never really realized until this moment. But when you like cook up your super cool NPC that you kind of shove down their throats, that feels like, well, okay, I guess this is what we're being made to do, which is like this character.
right.
If you make some random shopkeeper guy and they like just keep talking to them, engaging, there's a lot of fun that comes from the fact that the more they talk to that character, the more developed they become.
Right.
There's almost like a vesting them with life just from like, it's like their attention, like it's almost this like demiurgical magic that happens. Like by paying attention to that character, they get to make them more important.
Yeah, and I mean, one that reminds me of like in television, when you first meet a character, they're usually a lot more exaggerated and caricaturish, but then they become more interesting and varied the more episodes they get, and the more, because it's like you're just getting more glimpses of who they actually are and can actually be, and you're not just seeing this is an angry man, or this is a military guy who takes no nonsense, or whatever, you know, you're actually seeing who they are and not just the tropes and line items of their personality. But
sometimes it goes in the other direction.
Yeah.
Where a character can just be sort of a background character who might have a couple of funny lines, and then certain elements of what they do become more and more exaggerated until they become a cartoon character.
Right.
This is like what happened to everybody in the background on The Office.
Sure.
How like they were everybody all the background people in The Office on The Office were just supposed to be some regular people.
Right.
That was the joke, was that Michael Scott was like a crazy guy and that everybody else was very sane. But then like by the end of the series, everybody had some extreme mega kooky personality.
Right. That makes sense.
So it's like, well, this boss makes sense for this place. Everybody here is...
Because, like, that's building out the universe, but only the universe of the characters. Because it's not like, they live in some crazy world. You do see the universe in, like, those weird iPads or triangle or whatever. It's like, this is a crazy, stupid place. But I don't know. Anyway, to give you specific, actionable advice, I would say the one of the ways, and I don't know, maybe you were just leading in this direction, but, like, I would say, instead of introducing one NPC, introduce like a different NPC for every perceivable like idea. Like what your instinct will be is like, oh, this person can be the point of contact for this, and that. But make that 3 different people, and then like, but just generally use different characters and then cycle them back in. That way it's like, oh, there's all these people, and hey, isn't that the person that we were just dealing with? And oh, they don't have an egg anymore. I wonder what's going on. And so like just the nature of them being someone who they saw once and then are seeing again, it adds verisimilitude, and it also is intriguing because it feels more like a living world, and that feels more like a real person that you want to understand. And so in that way, you don't even have to be intentional about it, just being like, this is going to be great. You just go, okay, here's the butcher, here's the baker, and here's the candlestick maker, and then here's now the bookster comes back, and now he's got a cool hat or whatever. But
and it's like, candlestick making, you don't know my trade,
right?
You don't know what goes into this. And then like he comes back, and it's like he's refusing to make candles, but then you're like, I need 1 candle because I'm going to fight that silver dragon that lives up on Cragmire Peak. And he's like, that's the silver dragon that took my wife.
Yeah,
I'm coming with you to that peak. And then he pulls out from under the table that you've never seen under a long candle, and And he's like, "You're gonna need yourself dragon glass.
Damn.
You'll need a dragon wax candle, and it like shimmers with the ether and stuff." Anyway, that's all. That's more fun because that's just a guy who was just. They joke. It's like that's who he is by the end. But at the beginning, it was just like they went into the shop, and there was a generic shopkeeper because one party member wanted to buy like rope, and they were like, "Oh, do you have candles?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got a lot of candles." And that one-off comment turned into a whole thing about him being the candle maker and how his family had made candles for 100 years. But they're like, "Do you have a lot of candles?" He's like, "Well, I don't really make them anymore." And then that just it billows out into this endless thing.
Because when you're coming back, you're iterating, you're building on past experiences, and it's creating kind of like a journey that you're going on without even trying. It's just natural. It being like, you come in and it's the same guy, and the guy says you again, and it's like you survived, huh, or whatever, and all of a sudden you got a rapport and you got an arc and you got like a direction, and like that you also don't have to think of immediately. It just happens automatically, and that's compelling. So to get the result you want, it's almost like try less hard or be less precious.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. Well,
if they are not interested in a character, don't try to sell it harder.
Yeah.
Just like, that's fine.
All your ideas that you like about that character, make a new character. And once you start establishing this, fold in those aspects and details until the new character is essentially everything you liked about the old character. And then, you can kind of, and that's railroady to an extent, but like you can really make anything fit. Yeah, it's conservation of your ideas, your OCs.
Yeah, I mean, like, just come up with what you want to do on the fly. A lot.
Yeah, but really just give them a lot of things, and don't go just like I would go wide, just because when you go wide, you will immediately start finding either characters that they like, and then you go, oh, that'll be great, or just later on.
By go wide, you mean like make a lot of
don't go deep into into fleshing out a character.
Oh, like just make a lot of shallower characters, and whichever one they latch onto,
throw a bunch of shit on the wall and see what sticks. That kind of approach, just because I think you're trying too hard, and this is like a weird, what is it, the principle of attraction. Trying too hard makes people not like stuff. So
true.
If you're actively trying to make people like your characters, you're accidentally doing something that's hurting your cause.
Yeah.
I feel like, do you have any last thing? I feel like I might have had one last thing to say, but I can't think of it.
No, I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Really, just like
that covers it.
Yeah, let them find the characters that they like, and then build out that one.
Oh yeah, I guess I just wanted to say that on the campaign that we're doing on Harmontown, and this I think is a funny idea that I want to see other people just experiment with. I'm making all of the taverns have the same name and have the same owner. And the owner doesn't make a big deal out of the fact that he's everywhere at once, wherever they show up. And he's not like necessarily like, hey, it's you guys again. Remember me from the last different town? But like if they bother, it'll just be like, wait, you own... Why is there a leaky greave in every city? And it's like, yeah, I mean, business is great. What can I tell you? It's like everyone needs a tavern. I don't know. I can't keep this place staffed. That's why, I don't know. But just because that's you're literally not trying. You're doing the least amount of effort in that you're copy and pasting a generic tavern with a generic tavern owner. But that itself, ideally would be compelling.
It becomes more interesting just for the fact that it's the same one, and it's like, what is the story here?
Right.
And it's, of course, the best story is that they don't ever really find out.
It's because it's not about that. Yeah, it's just a thing that's happening. I don't know.
It's another magical thing that's happening in the world.
Right. It's an element of a living, breathing world. I don't know. Anyway,
should we go to what do we do first? I can't remember.
So we're just gonna crack into a segment that we call Loot Table or Brute Fable.
Oh yeah, this is the game.
It's a game.
We roll a die, and then we refer to a table, and it tells us what kind of thing we're going to have to make up. It might be a magical item, it might be a piece of armor, it might be an NPC, it might be a monster.
Right.
And then we also draw a card from the Golden Thread Tarot app.
So it's a tarot card.
Yeah, it's a tarot card.
And then that's like a curveball that we use to riff off.
Yeah, we have to use that to make the thing.
It's
so,
fun. It's fun. You love it.
Yeah, everybody loves it.
You love it.
There was some really great fan art. You got to okay.
Okay.
Roll.
So yeah, I got to roll first.
Spencer's
and this is for me, right?
Yeah. Spencer has rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1. And that's an NPC / a humanish monster.
Okay, and you want to know the card you've drawn?
I guess.
It's the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh.
Reversed.
Oh, boy.
It signifies no control, clinging to control, and bad luck. A seemingly unstoppable series of events has occurred, and they are not in your favor. There's a feeling of general bad luck that you cannot control, leaving you in a state of helplessness. The great wheel always turns, regardless of human desire. But what comes down will eventually come back up again. What you got?
All right. So it's a legend. It's not a monster because it's like more of a deity, kind of a mythical thing, but it's like a figure that exists, like La Llorona or something, like a mythical figure. And it's the Neverknown. And
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the Neverknown. And it's like a slight, not quite a Slender Man, but like a pale kind of, not young but small, slight kind of figure. Who's dreary and drab and grayscale more or less, and is normally a knight in kind of swampy, kind of, mysterious places. But he's essentially a curse. And because if you see him around, that means you're in like for some real shit, because it's like some Final Destination shit where like that means you're marked by the gods or the demons are on your ass or something, and a lot of calamity is going to befall you. Like things are going to fall out of the sky and you're going to die, and people are going to die that are close to you, and
So it's like a bad omen that walks like a man.
Yeah, except it's actually a real thing. It's not just like, because that's what people assume is like it's just this bad omen. It's like, oh, you got marked, buddy. Like the devil has it out for you. The Dark Reaper, Death Reaper.
Oh yeah,
Grim Reaper.
Oh yeah, the Dark Reaper, the Death Reaper.
You know the Death Reaper?
Yeah. These are all really good names for monster
trucks. He's reaping
trucks.
all that death. Yeah, no, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so the Grim
Death Reaper Sunday.
He's like, I got your number, buddy. But in actuality, it's just this super, like bad thing that it comes around because it feeds off of negative energy. And so naturally, it'll show up when you're in the worst shit that you're ever in.
Oh, it shows up like... Does it have like a little bit of prescience?
Yeah.
Can it, like see a little bit into the future?
Yeah, well, it's more that the collection of energy is prescient towards the bad stuff that's going to happen. Like,
okay.
That's what's creating the bad shit that's going to go down, and so that's what draws it in. And so it knows that that's going to happen, but it knows because the energy's in the area.
So it's like kind of like a paradoxical loop.
Yeah, because it's like this, it's like a mysterious phenomenon that, and you can work it in theoretically it would be worked into the campaign in different ways or whatever, but it's left ambiguous because by the lore of the universe, people would assume that means you got bad luck or that you're cursed or that like you really went against someone's honor or something, you
but
really fucked yourself.
This thing is actually creating it.
Yeah, well, not even. It's just there. It's like it might even help because it's eating the negative energy. But yeah, I don't know. There it is, the Neverknown.
What's it look like?
It looks like those weird creepypasta things where it's like a kid with weird big orbish kind of eyes. I feel like it's kind of like that, except more.
I was picturing just a
normal.
very drab figure that's just kind of like indistinct. It's almost like an audience for your disaster.
Yeah, to me it's like not to be in this Oliver Twist kind of thing, but like an Oliver Twist kind of kid, but just a bit more horror-ish. Like if out of the corner of your eyes it's a bit more horrific, but looking at it it's just like a kid or a dude.
It's like the face might flicker when you weren't looking right at it.
Like unsettling.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, that's the Neverknown.
I love it.
I did it.
All right,
that's another one down.
Oh, here it is. Okay, now I'm gonna roll not a 1 this week. I got a 4. What's that?
Oh yeah, that's I think also one we do all the time. Magic items.
Oh yeah, magic items are good though.
So that's like potions and like a magic wand or a ring. It could be armor, but it's more wondrous items like. Yeah. The figures, animal figures, deck of many things, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So this is okay. Well, I drew the Temperance reversed. That is the card I drew. Extremes, excess, lack of balance. Too much of anything can lead to ruin. Your focus is sharp and unwavering, but what are you leaving forgotten? Something has been forgotten in your quest for excellence.
Damn.
Okay. Let me see. Give me a second.
This second brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
It is true. Was taking a big sip of Dr. Pepper, and now Spencer has as well. He has his own Dr. Pepper. Let's see. I think it is. Okay, it's all right. I think it's a. So this is about like forgetting things and like what have you left undone.
And unbalance, right? Or too much balance being a bad thing.
I think it's like this one. It's like absence of balance. It's bad. But the specific, I like the idea of the undone. I can't think of a good name for it just yet. But the idea I'm having is, so like adventurers always have like, especially like late in the game, like when we've been playing for like a year or a year or two. There's always all these unresolved plot threads. Just by the nature of like you're playing a game where you're building, you splay things out. They pick 3 and leave the other 4. And, you know, one of those might get finished. What if there was a thing that made made the players go back and finish things? Like a curse that's like a curse that's that they're under.
The end unlooser.
Yeah.
The loose unender.
What's the loose end?
The tight ender.
The loose ending?
Well, we could come up with a name later. You can keep going though.
The noose end.
The noose ender.
Or the goose end. You know what? It's the goose end. It's a little.
You can just keep going.
Okay. Well, the idea is it's something that makes you do this.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of how it would compel you to do this.
And doing this is finishing unfinished tasks.
Yeah, finishing unfinished side quests, basically.
Okay, so this is like it uses that quest / Gaius spell.
Yeah,
compels behavior.
Yeah, maybe. And like now they have to act in a way that is driven towards like it like might pick like.
Because that's like when it's magic items, it's like you have to learn these spells to be able to make this magic item, right? Is that still the rules how it works?
I think they're still pretty fuzzy. I think they're fairly fuzzy on magic. Your characters being able to make magic items. I think they're
that's interesting.
I think they don't really want that to be like a huge thing.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Sorry, that was a distraction.
No. It
makes you finish unfinished tasks, and it's an item that you're trying to come up with what kind of item it is.
Yeah, it's to do to. I got no puns. But what is it? Is it a?
Okay.
What do you got?
It's a it's like a wrist bracelet, and it's called the to-do wrist.
I love it. Yes. Okay, it's the to-do wrist. It's a little. You know what? This is actually a little bit from the show that we're watching right now. It's on Netflix. It's called The Dragon Prince. It's very good. Shit. It's a little noose. It's a little wristlet that gets around your wrist, and it gets tighter every day unless you are making active progress towards resolving one of your unresolved side quests.
It's like exactly the spell quest or Gaius.
Okay.
Gaius.
Well, it's a magic item that does that.
No, but I mean not exactly. But that's what it would be great because that spell is so strange. I mean, it's like Magic Jar, or whatever. It's like one of these spells I have hang-ups with.
Hyper conditional things that only exist for narrative reasons,
or seem to at any rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like so. But who would this be on? Like someone who's constantly like leaving work half finished or something?
I just think it would be I guess it's like a very railroady way to make your party, like make your players like go back and wrap up some side quest that you're trying to get them to finish.
Right. But like I said, that spell exists because...
Yeah, probably for that reason.
Or similar reasons that you would also need this item to use. Like it fits in that milieu.
Well, maybe it would be a magic item, and that way you could do it instead of them having to have an NPC show up to cast this spell who for some reason is a powerful wizard but won't just do whatever thing that he's making your characters do.
Right.
Maybe it was made by some like god who's obsessed with like balance and completion and finishing things, and as it's meant to make adventurers follow through on shit.
Yeah, I mean that makes me think of like a god was sick of another god who just kept half finishing work and then leaving it, and then it would fall to ruin and calamity just because he didn't care. And so it's like, you know what? I'm tying this around your wrist.
You finish this. You finish one thing.
Yeah. No, you stop. You knock this off. One planet at a time. I don't know.
No, I like it.
To-do wrist.
The to-do wrist.
And the Neverknown, huh?
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Loot Table and Brute Fable, huh?
We did them both.
There you go.
We did them both this time.
So I guess it's time that we take a break then, huh?
Yes.
All right. Have fun with those commercials.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh
yeah, it's different
Brains. They're so boring and monotonously colored, are they not?
I mean, gray matter, gross.
Gray matter is out. You know, they say that orange is the new black. Well, all sorts of colors are the new gray, thanks to Mr. Technomatter.
Mr. Technomatter's brain splatter.
Mr. Technomatter's brain splatter. You know, True Vision, Infrared Vision, True Sight, Tremor Sense, all these alternate ways of seeing reveal all of your brain. And do you want your brain looking normal and stupid when that happens?
When somebody looks into my brain, I want them to think that Andy Warhol has died.
Here, try these on and look at my brain.
Whoa!
You see that?
I see so much. What are these things I'm putting on? Are these goggles of true sight?
That's Popeyes right there on my brain. But yeah, no, those are goggles of true sight. They let you test them out because
the Popeyes where you love the chicken.
Yeah, I got it printed on my brain because that's just how I roll.
You're just you're just commercials.
Oh,
you're a man of capitalism and you're a man of brands.
Mm-hmm.
You're a brandsman.
Brain splattersman is what I like to say.
Yeah.
And you can be a brain splattersman too. If you think that I'm good or efficient at getting money, that's because the color of my brain. Use the promo code Popeyes Chicken is great and the checkout, and you'll get a free chicken wing in addition to the color of your choice.
God, this branding is really getting overt. We were turning into a fucking Adam Sandler movie.
And as always, inhalant drugs can be dangerous if not lethal. So when you use brain splatter, it's probably fine, but don't sue, and you can't.
You can't. What are you going to sue us for advertising?
No, I don't think that's possible. And
No.
I hope we won't find out that we are wrong about this.
It's absurd.
And now, back to our show.
Well, I sure did enjoy that suite of products.
Oh, did you? I did too. I always do, and I always will.
All right.
I have such a great time doing the podcast, and it's just so much fun that we could get paid to do ads for it. It's like every day I wake up in dreamland.
Yeah, it's not at all like this huge thing that we're doing for free.
As always, please buy the products. I need help affording medical care because my snot has been purple for months.
Yes, and I
haven't been using brain splatter for that long.
No, well, at least now your brain matches your snot.
Yeah.
All right, are you
Just
ready?
as God intended. Yeah. Do you got another question?
Oh yeah, and this one's gonna continue an episode-long trend of accessible to everyone.
Hell yeah.
It's hey Cohen and Spencer, I was just wondering if you had any tips or tricks for a Naruto-based campaign.
Okay.
Like using jutsu instead of spells, or if you don't know about Naruto, how do you adapt a campaign to a different universe, like how Spencer mentioned an Adventure Time-based one? Thanks. That comes from Christopher. Naruto, as of course we all know, is an anime. It is based on a manga. It is about
ninjas who could be better described as demon wizards.
Yeah, my impression of it was it kind of looked like if Harry Potter had lines on his face and went to prison.
I don't know how much prison he went to, but
well, like 'cause he's the orange jumpsuit.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's good.
Like every time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's like a prison uniform."
It's certainly strange, and it's certainly at odds with the concept of a ninja, which is probably the point. Anyway, Naruto...
Yeah, there's probably a whole big deal about it.
There's like these different elements. Each element has its own kind of little city. Each city has its own tribe of ninjas. The ninja tribes are kind of at war. They use war using the elements of the city that their ninjas are based on. We follow the city and the leaves, which is, I think, a fire element, actually, technically. But then, they go, but the focus is on these ninja, which are, again, they're warriors. They're essentially knights because they fight using, subtlety and such, but at the end of the day, they're casting magic and throwing daggers and stuff. So they use ninja skills, but those ninja skills are like elemental magic. So you might use a shadow clone, or you might be able to spit fire or turn your hand into a lightning blade. And so it's all essentially just elemental magic, more or less.
I feel like Naruto. Oh wait, isn't Naruto the father of Boruto?
Yeah, Boruto.
Did he have a son named Boruto? And now there's a different manga.
Yeah.
About Boruto, son of Naruto.
Yeah.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, I think Naruto dies in that one.
Wow, that's a huge spoiler.
It's very early.
Oh, that's enormous spoiler.
Yeah.
You didn't give enough time between spoiler alert and the spoiler itself. I don't care.
Spoiler alert, Boruto dies in Naruto. That's not true.
He might.
None of this is true. All of our spoilers are always lies and trolls.
All right, so how do you make a Naruto-based campaign?
So honestly, this brings up a point that I've had in my head a long time. Like, Avatar and Naruto probably are the strongest contenders for deserving their own system based on them, just because their axis of power is so unique in terms of fiction that it almost deserves its own system. I think if you just wanted to really hack it, which is, I'm sure if you Googled, there's probably hacks of it anyway.
I mean, there's monks.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
The way monks. The way of the four elements is just Aang.
Right.
The way that one of the paths that a monk can get is way of the four elements.
Based.
Yeah, and they have some weaker elemental based spells that they use using their key points.
Yeah, I would say it's all pretty weak, but it's very fun and interesting and evocative of the elemental tropes. So that's cool. But no, I mean, so it's not in 5th edition anymore, huh? But this is my suggestion: is there's a system called psionics. 3rd edition has it. Pathfinder has it. Psionics. It's kind of like an alternate spellcasting that uses power points instead of spell slots. And so the end result is you have a pool of points, and you use the points to cast spells. You have less psionic spells than you have normal magic spells generally. And I would basically build up and stat out every jutsu that exists in Naruto. Well, not everyone, but everyone that's like going to be used as a spell, as a psionic spell with point values and stuff, and go from there. I mean, that's obviously a lot of work, but you're talking about trying to like replicate this magical system that I say is like incredibly thick and dense.
I would say that this gets to another way you might do it. I would say that this gets to like basically, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to recreate Naruto setting within this world and have like a system that like, you know, and here for Naruto it could be anything. It could be Harry Potter.
Right.
If you wanted to do a Ghostbusters campaign, a Harry Potter. This is something I ran up to with my campaign that was like, oh, it's Sonic the Hedgehog OCs, and of course that means first thing they're going to do is fight robots, and then I immediately ran into problems because this character, one of the three players is playing a bard. He chose a few charm spells, and all three of them say does not work on robots or automatons. Right. And it's like, well, all of their enemies are that, so I'm just going to have to ignore that rule.
Sure.
You have to, the first thing I did was search for, automatons, living armor, and it's like, wow, all these are way too strong for them to fight.
Oh yeah, automatons have a lot of hardness and damage resistance and stuff that make them hard to face.
So instead, I just used the stat block for a guard,
right,
like a human guard, but it was a robot.
That's like, I just want to point that out because that's like an amazing trick, specifically with monsters and enemies. You can just take the stats from any monster and call it any other monster, and half the time no one will even think that there's anything going on.
I do it all the time, all my original monsters, because extensive work has been done playtesting the hell out of these things where if you use the little generator and it tells you that they can fight a CR monster at this level, this many characters can fight. It tells you that this many players can fight this difficulty monster at this level, and it will be easy, difficult, challenging, or deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Just use a thing that matches that. So I had them fight. I had them fight like a gorilla that splits into 3 other gorillas, but really it was just one. It was just it was like a different monster. That's not a great example. The thing I said, like, they weren't really fighting robots.
Yeah, well, that specifically is like automaton and constructs have a lot of special rules baggage that make them difficult to fight. They don't get critical hits usually from rogues. Actually, in 5th edition, I think they do. But there's carve-outs like that used to exist and exist in other systems that, like, those make you want to not fight those kinds of creatures, and you can easily just use the stats off of, say, a gargoyle or something and call that a stone golem, even though it's like, 4 times as weak as a stone golem or even more. But yeah, no, I don't know. Well, what did you do? Like, specifically, how did you make, you just kind of used the rules that existed, but just kind of twisted them a little bit?
I basically like treated it like I'm putting a skin on this.
Right.
But I'm not going to try to reinvent my own system where they only fight X, Y, and Z thing, because to be honest, I'm not really confident. I don't feel like I'm confident enough as a DM yet to know what is going to completely destroy the game. If I'm like, okay, they're only fighting things that are like dogs.
Yeah,
I feel like that's great if you don't care if a game doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
If you all are like looking like, what's going to happen if we try to do this?
Right.
But if you're actually trying to run a decent game, things can get a little dicey.
Sure.
I'd say focus on skin something, like make something that works and then skin the ninja stuff onto it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just thinking the thing about Naruto specifically, and that's why I say Avatar, is because they both have a system where the reserve of power that you draw from is very mutable and plot based, and also the strength you can call upon is very plot based, and that is very distinct from D&D's spell slot system, which is it's like a lot of different systems use different forms for magic. I'd say the spell slot system is kind of unique to D&D. Maybe I'm way wrong here, but
I think the thing the question to ask would be like, is this person and the people they're playing with trying to recreate Naruto magic in D&D, or are they trying to play D&D but Naruto stuff happens sometimes?
Well, I think you would have to be, because otherwise you're just playing in any setting that has like 6 warring cities. But like the thing that makes it Naruto is basically everyone has this crazy powerful demon elemental magic that can mean cloning yourself or summoning a giant dragon made of ice who can fight for like 3 whole days, or even bringing someone back to life or something. So it's like
there are analogs for all of the things you just said in the D&D. In D&D, you have somebody could cast mirror image.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could use a stone of greater elemental summoning.
Right.
Somebody could,
but not every class is a caster.
No, so they would probably play. But like almost every class can do things that are caster analogs. A lot of them can.
Fighters.
Yeah, except for fighters. Like that's the thing about fight.
Well, that's the thing. That's what Naruto is, though. It's the ninjas are essentially very capable rogue/fighters that also have access to magic that's in excess of what you'd give a cleric or a wizard.
Okay, arcane tricksters and monks who do way the 4 elements.
That you'd have to be like level 7 or 8 to get like access to the first level of any of that.
No, 3rd level.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, 3rd level is when they get their path.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be anywhere near the level of like, because that's the thing is like a 7th level, 3rd level like D&D characters like crazy, but like these ninjas are casting all this magic like when they're in say like ninja kindergarten or some shit.
I guess that's the question too. Is like how close are you trying to get? If one way, I mean, if you're. I feel like I see this a lot. It's sort of like thought experiment D&D. It's to the point where you're like, how do we stat out what would Darth Vader be?
Yeah, but that's people's access to the game. That's what's fun to them is like trying to figure out.
I'm not against it.
D&D class you would be if you were Darth Vader.
Yeah, and obviously he would be a
paladin. No, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was probably like a.
I just riffed one of 8 classes. So.
Yeah. Well,
Bard.
Obviously, he'd be an arcane trickster because he has mage hand.
Barbarian. He's clearly a barbarian because he doesn't talk. So he must be in a rage.
Remember in the Rogue One, or where he was like, "Don't choke on your ambition," and he did like the force choke?
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, it was really bad, that part.
Some people liked it, and some people hated it, which is unique to movies.
They had a CGI Darth Vader, which seems... I don't know.
That's funny. It seems the most easy to do practically. Anyway, but yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, Naruto and Avatar, for this reason, to me, are the best candidates for having an actual system built for them, because I think that the specifics of their power are very interesting. I don't know. I don't use a lot of alternate systems, but Mutants and Masterminds sounds like something that might fit, and I've never used it, but so that's a very irresponsible recommendation.
Yeah, but I mean, you can find out and let us know how it worked.
Yeah, so you asked us a question hoping we'd help you, but you've been assigned homework.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of Mutants and Masterminds as a D&D system.
Let us know how it went. All right.
Yeah. We're kind of low on time. Do you want to just forego the last question and move on into our final segment?
Let's do that thing people love. It's alternate monster lore.
Oh, you know it. You love it. It's alternate monster lore.
Let's do it. Let's make it a quick one.
Okay, so I've been having this on my mind for a while. But what about Griffins? You know Griffins?
Yeah, Griffins, McElroy.
Yeah,
Peter's Griffins.
Yeah, no, but Griffins, they're very traditional.
Yeah,
they got what?
The front half is an eagle and the back half is a horse.
Is that what they are? I'm gonna look it up.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of a hippogriff. The front.
Yeah, because there's.
That's what a hippogriff is.
Well, let's find out. I'm not talking into the mic, but let's find out what
Spencer says
a griffin even is.
Yeah, isn't it just like an eagle, with like
the back wings of a lion, or
the
no,
back
the back wings of a lion.
The back wings, yes.
The back half of a lion, and then the wings and head of an eagle.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that tracks. I always thought that was weird because it's like, what are they going to do with those back half lion paws?
Yeah, it's so scary.
Like get on its back and scratch you, like
run fast.
I guess
pounce.
Oh, I guess
from the sky.
I guess it lets it have. I mean, it's like it lets it like run. Okay.
But it can fly faster,
yeah.
presumably. Anyway, so griffins, they're just mostly wild animals in terms of lore. They would roost in hard to access places and come and assault a town or something and fly away and not be able to be
might
killed.
Like take a child.
Right. Yeah, front heads are eagles.
Okay. What do they do?
I don't know. How are we gonna they're smart? That seems too on the nose. No, that's not what they normally are.
I think I might be thinking of sphinxes.
That's the thing is I keep thinking of a lion head, and I'm like, I think I'm thinking of a sphinx.
Well, that's not even right because the sphinx has the head of a
man
or a lady.
Yeah. A human man.
Yeah.
Remember, yeah.
Griffins. You know what? Griffins are kind of boring to me. I
but
think
that's why we gotta juice them up.
Yeah, that's the whole deal. They're a big deal in Dragon Age, I think. And aside from that, there was a nice bar in Atwater until they let Nazis in.
Yeah,
and that's about all I know about Griffins.
I think that these griffins should be fast and ground based, so they can fly, but that's not their MO. Like the same way, like some bugs can kind of fly, but mostly they crawl around and just hop kind of high.
Yeah. Okay, they can't. What if they can't fly? They can just, if they run really fast, they can jump and then kind of glide.
Yeah, like they have aerial movement, but they can't just like go on bombing runs like a dragon kind of can.
Yeah.
They're these fast kind of sprinty, lurky kind of, they shoot out of nowhere and kind of tear shit up or maul a bunch of people and then they like jump over a wall and are gone.
Yeah. I like the idea of them being like big feral cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already liking them a lot more.
Yeah, so what if they're more feral cats? Do they still have an eagle head or do they have a cat head?
Well, I mean, if they have a cat head, we've
got winged cats.
We've made a cat. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think we can disrupt that.
But what if they have tail feathers?
What if they have?
What if it's just a cat with tail feathers?
That's very cute.
No, it's bad, and I hate it.
No, I love it still.
I don't know. I like the idea of like bird feet, but I don't think it works.
They have bird feet on the front.
Oh yeah.
They have talons. Clack clack clack.
That's so. And then it.
Yeah,
so that really is a hippogriff then, huh?
Well, a hippogriff has a horse ass instead of a lion.
I'm looking it up.
That's the difference. It has a horse back.
I'm gonna prove that right.
Like Buckbeak from Harry Potter.
No, I know.
Because he bucked like a horse, They had a beak.
That's terrible.
She really went to...
Shame on you.
She took a lunch on that one.
You know, between that and Diagon Alley, I fucking give up.
What about Nocturne Alley?
Yeah.
Ah?
Well, what's that? Nocturnally?
Yeah.
That's not...
Because it's bad. It's where bad people are.
The thing is, like, Nocturne's a cool enough sound on its own to kind of be acceptable.
So is Diagon.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's so
Diagon.
lame.
Okay, but what if it was the Amulet of Diagon?
I don't like Diagon.
Prince of the Dragon Tamers.
I think it's too close to Dragon.
Yeah.
Like, it's when
But
you
that
see
would have been
Diagon, it's
Dragonly.
like... Yeah, no, I know. But when you see it, it's like, oh, someone changed one letter from Dragon. Now I'm mad. And I can't think about anything else. And then when you zoom out of that, and it's like, now it's actually just a direction. Now I'm fucking pissed. I don't know. What was happening? Griffins. So they're running fast. They're pouncing. I don't know. Because you see a rat. Rats fucking tear ass.
They
you
do.
know? And that's what's frightening.
Yeah. They scream and then they run.
Yeah. They can scream. They're known for shrieking.
Are we talking about rats now?
Either way.
Okay, what if... Okay, maybe this is what we need. What if instead of a griffin, instead of the back half being a lion, what if it's a rat?
Okay.
What if it's got like a big rat ass and a rat tail? You know, that like gross, like naked rat tail like they have that doesn't have any hair on it. It's just cold, horrible thing.
Yeah.
And
it's
like
so
it's
fucking gross.
And it's big, it's like big because griffins are big. It's like... And so it's just like the back half is this like huge rat body.
Also, that makes me want to make the head more of like a fusion between rat and bird, because a rat and a bird head have similarities in terms of beadiness and stuff, like the eyes, you know?
So maybe it's like rat shaped with this like gross enamel plating and like these like kind of a bleeding cracked mouth.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I like it.
I hate it in a good way.
Yeah, it's called the Gruffin.
The Gruffin.
It's the nasty griffin. It's
called the Gruffin.
The Gruffin.
Like a Groupon.
Yeah. So
the
it's
Gruffin.
The Gruffin, and it shouldn't be the size of a griffin. You know what? It should be about the size of a big dog.
I think I think bigger than a big dog, but way smaller than because a griffin is like even bigger than a horse because it's like a mythical creature.
But I'm trying to think of what would be the prey of the griffin.
Oh,
that was like
people. Well,
yeah, but I'm trying to invent an animal, and I like this. It's the rat. It's the Gruffin. It's this rat thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing that a griffin eats.
Yeah, no, but Gruffins, I feel like they're just like bad people. They I don't know, because they seem more like cockroaches, just like super, super dangerous. It's like, this is city living, Gruffins,
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's what's in the city.
Right.
It's like they've like they crossbred and got like meaner and nastier and like now they've like,
and they can hide.
Yeah,
because they're smaller,
and there might be a swarm of them as opposed to like.
Yeah, well, you don't necessarily encounter them a lot, but there are. Like that's the thing. If you kill a Gruffin, it's not like, well, that solves that problem. It's like there's just gonna be more. Like
you have an infestation.
Yeah,
there's a really difficult encounter of Curse of Strahd that is just rats, a swarm of rats.
Swarms are rough
in a tunnel.
But yeah,
I'm
so.
sick.
I don't know. That's the Gruffin. You could use it in your campaign if you want. I like it.
Do it, coward.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they're just having fun safe in a city. We're not breaking any laws. We're going to be fine. Gruffin comes out. Bam.
Warhammer 40K that shit.
Someone gets bitten in half.
This city is gross.
The city is dirty. It needs to be saved. I'm the Rorschach Master.
Oh, God.
I'm Walter Joseph Kovacs. There was a guy on 4chan named Walter Joseph Kovacs one day.
Oh, don't bring him back to life.
Remember?
No, I've never been to 4chan.
Remember back when the internet was just a place where you went to have fun sometimes?
I never went to 4chan.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm not asking when you went to 4chan, just when the internet didn't, it wasn't the engine of apocalypse that it is now.
It was still, there was still a lot of bad stuff, but it seemed like mostly it was 16-year-olds.
No, but it wasn't the intentional dooming of a world and civilization.
Yeah, and it's like all that had to happen for the world to fall apart was just everybody can talk to each other now.
Yep. That's life.
Well, on that uplifting and life-affirming note,
Mastery is manual.
Oh, wait, well, hold on.
No, we're not even going to plug anything.
Yeah,
we're just going to be depressed and leave. Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, Master Manual Pod is on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yep.
On that thriving Discord that a month ago, when you're listening to this, we finally shared the link.
Hopefully at this point I can announce that Harmon Quest Season 3 is happening, and it's probably taping as this episode fucking comes out. Jesus Christ.
God. I'm going to be at every taping.
That would be cool.
I'm going to have a little sign that says, Go Spencer. And then I'm going to have another sign that says, You're on a roll, buddy.
So if you're hearing this, scramble to see if getting tickets is possible, or it might well be too late, and I'm sorry. And
Can I come?
Yeah, no problem. I'm talking to the audience.
Okay, well, it's just I realized I'd never asked you about it.
Yeah, no, it's easy to get people in. But yeah, so any other thing to plug? You got anything going on?
So much, but not really.
Cohen's got some big streams.
Do I?
From his dick
into
the toilet once we finish up, because we usually use the restroom before and after tapings. Mastery is manual. We booked it again. Another one.
Looks like we booked it again.
Looks like we booked another one again. Oh, I hate myself, you guys.